Hello Pisces, Elsie here to do a reading for you. It is a reading for the week ahead. How you doing, Pisces? I hope you're well. Thank you so much for clicking here. I'm going to do a 9-card read for you. That's what we're going to do today. That's what we've been doing all week. Let's find out what's going on for you, friend. Now, if you can remember that this is not just a reading for your sun sign, but it's also for moon, rising, Venus, and Jupiter, and it is a general reading. And I just want to say thank you for the ways you've been loving on me, the way you've been watching and your thumbs up and all that way you've been doing all those things to build your own Pisces tribe here at 10 Cups Tarot. Thank you for that. At the end of this video, I'm going to tell you about how to find the extended. I'm also going to tell you how to book a private reading if that's what you want. Let's find out what's going on for you. My water family, my two fishes friends, tell me about Pisces. What does Pisces need to know? We've got a star. Interesting. We've got Temperance, and we've got the Four of Swords. I feel like you're very clear on what it is that you want. I think for fours are about stability. This one's swords, stability of the mind, having clarity, but it's after a period of healing as well. So I feel like the moment of alchemy is sneaking up on you. There's something here that's about to take place that is going to even the scales or bring something back into balance. I feel like it's a manifestation, if I'm being honest. It feels like the star being here tells me that you've been not only healing, but you've been manifesting. I feel like you've been healing the mind because this is Aquarius. So, and we do have the Four of Swords here. So the healing I feel has been in the mind. So I don't know what you're healing in the mind. It could be that you're at odds with yourself about something. Maybe you have a conversation with somebody that you didn't like and you keep thinking about it over and over. But there is some sort of healing or moment of alchemy where you're either going to forgive something or you're going to heal it. Tell me more about Pisces. We have the Six of Pentacles. I'm going to say, yeah, it does feel like it might have been a back and forth with somebody. It feels like there was some reciprocal energy going on. It could be talking. It could be, yeah, it feels like it was communication. Maybe communication has stopped with somebody here. We've got the Knight of Swords. If communication with somebody has stopped, it's about to start up again. So if something has gone silent, it feels like if you've been manifesting conversation or communication with somebody, I feel like it's coming. But I think that the reason there's been a pause is because there's been some healing going on here. Somebody could have said something out of line or out of turn. And I feel like during some sort of conversation, I'm looking at the Knight of Swords and the Six of Pentacles, and this here is reciprocal energy. Yes, it's conversation, it's back and forth, but it feels like Gemini energy here. This is aggressive words, communication, thought patterns, something here. Somebody said something out of line or said something sharp. Gemini energy. Gemini really doesn't care who's in the room. Gemini is just going to say it, and depending on their rising sign is how it will come out of their mouth. So if they're a fire rising sign, boom, you're just going to get the truth. They're just going to say it and let you deal with the pieces later. If it's a Cancer rising, it's going to be a little sweeter, a little more soft. So I feel like, nonetheless, I feel like conversation is about to start up again. We're going to be going back and forth, but I think it's going to be just a little more aggressive than it was, if I'm being honest. I feel like either there was an argument or a fight, or there will be an argument or a fight, or we're trying to heal an argument or a fight. 4 and 1, sword in the hand of the Knight, tells me that there is an aggressive difference of opinion, possibly. And it feels like this Temperance is here to try and heal everything in the moment of alchemy. But understand, I think that you are trying to manifest that. I think that you want this to heal. We've got the Four of Cups. Yep, somebody rejected your idea, rejected your thought pattern, rejected your emotions, told you that you're full of it. It feels like with the Four of Cups here, it is, I feel like somebody said something about, why are you so emotionless? Why don't you ever show me your emotions? Like it feels like that. Maybe you said that. It does feel like somebody rejected the idea, and that's what ended up with this argument or fight. And now we've gone to our own, I'm looking at a wrestling ring. We've gone to our own turnbuckles here. It looks like we've gone to our own corners of the ring, and we are taking a moment, taking a beat, Somebody is manifesting healing here or balance. I've got the Seven of Cups. I don't even know what this conversation was about. How did it get so out of hand so easily? It feels like one of you backed away, and I think it might have been you because I'm talking about Piscean energy and you're the more emotional one. You may have backed away from the whole situation because it was making you overly emotional or overwhelmed emotionally. And I feel like you were you didn't have an understanding of why this person was arguing about it. It could be like maybe they haven't been able to get a hold of you, or maybe it was over rejection. Like the Four of Cups can be rejection as well. It feels like the words were about rejection, or somebody was rejecting your thought pattern. Somebody was rejecting something here, and aggressively so. The Six of Swords is here. It does feel like, it feels like it got very intense. It feels like somebody revealed some sort of a secret. Look, I'm looking at Seven Swords here. And you know, those arguments as they start up and then it's like the argument starts and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then somebody, in order to shut you down, just hits you with a dagger. Well, I never loved you anyway. Or did you know you were adopted? Or do you know what I mean? They do something aggressive to try and shut the whole thing down. And it feels like it reveals some sort of secret. Or somebody's playing dirty. Somebody says something that's untrue. Like it feels like that. So I feel like you are trying to maybe get over. It felt like it was a moment of chaos and it made you overly emotional. And maybe you have cut this person out or rejected them. It feels like it was after a difference of opinion, an argument. Maybe it was a moral value or a fundamental difference. Something that you believe to know that is coursing in your veins. And somebody called you out on it, or vice versa. And I think they did it in order to get the rise out of you, understand? I don't think that they believe it's true. Seven Swords, right? Could be like denying, could be lying. I didn't necessarily say the truth, but they wanted it to land in a way where you felt rejected. And so that's why they said it in the way that they did, even if it was a lie. We've got the Five of Pentacles. So now everything is quiet. We're all on the outside looking in. So I feel like you're silent with somebody. I feel like there's a situation where we used to talk every day, or we had a lot of back and forth here. And it feels like something got out of hand. It was an argument or a fight, Five of Swords. It was the Six of Swords and the One Sword, Seven of Swords. Something came up. I feel like you're keeping to yourself. Five of Pentacles is here. We're not talking to each other. We've got distance between us. It all fell into lack. And the Seven of Cups, when you think about it, it makes you feel overwhelmed emotionally. I think you want to heal it, but I think that you know that there must be aggressive healing there. I think that you're sort of in this place of, shouldn't I, or should I just let it be where it is? We're going to put down two cards and see what's going on underneath the surface that you don't see, Pisces. We've got the Devil in the reverse. Maybe I should just leave it alone. Maybe I should just reverse it. There's always three things to do, right? I can say something about it, I can be quiet about it, or I can just leave it where it is. Yeah. So I wonder if you're just wanting to release it. The Devil in the reverse to me is always a release of toxicity. Maybe I didn't need this relationship after all. Maybe I didn't need this friendship or this job after all. And we've got the Hermit. So it does feel like you're in deep contemplation about just letting this whole thing go. You don't think that you can work on it. You don't think that you can approach the topic. In fact, I think that you feel that you would have to be the one to do the approach. Or should you just release it and leave it where it is? Let's talk about Temperance. Tell me about Temperance. I think you're going back and forth on whether this is your responsibility to say something or if it's their responsibility to say it first. We've got the Queen of Swords, but it has to be said nonetheless. It feels like somebody said something, like made a decision to say something that was really sharp. It drew a boundary. It drew a line in the sand between you and this person who I feel you know really well. I feel like you know them really well. But I feel like this person pulled out the swords. The Queen of Swords is here and gave you an aggressive, sharp decision. We've got the Emperor. This could be a fight with the boss. Yeah. And we've got the Five of Swords. There it is. I called it out, right? The Five of Swords is there. So I feel like it's a difference of opinion with your superior or your boss. I don't know if you call them your superior or a person of influence. It does feel like there is a back and forth about whether I should just release this, leave this place of work. Maybe I don't have the same opinions on things that my boss does. You know, there are some times when you work in a business and you know that there's a lot of immorality going on, but you stay there because they pay you to do a job and you need a job in order to live. I was in one of those places when I was working for one of Canada's largest insurance companies, and it was just a completely immoral base. The way that they were dealing with things around there, the way they dealt with their employees, and the way that they wouldn't pay out for things that, you know, when people needed help, like it was terrible. And so I struggled with it for a really long time because it paid me really well to do the thing that I was doing. So that's what this feels like. It feels like there's a line in the sand that you made with your boss, or you're about to stand up, liberate yourself and say, wait a second, I don't think that we agree on this thing anymore. This could also be a friendship, right? Because the Six of Pentacles is here. I feel like you were probably the perfect friend who didn't challenge, or the perfect employee who just didn't challenge. Like it feels like that. Tell me what the Six of Pentacles is, please. We've got the Three of Pentacles in the reverse. So some sort of foundation has broken. We've got the Three of Swords. Gosh, this is really intense energy. There's a lot of swords here. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. The Six of Wands. You know what? It does really feel like this is future energy. It feels like someone's about to stand up for themselves. It feels like you've had enough. You need to liberate yourself from a situation of someone who feels like they have conquered you. Someone who bosses you around, someone who essentially says, if you don't like it, go. So that could be a relationship, it could be a friendship, it could be a place where you're working. But it does feel like you no longer have you're no longer traveling on the same path. It feels like you've realized that there's fundamental differences. So fundamentally who you are, things you will not negotiate on, this person has crossed that line. And so it feels like here that you know that getting up and going is really going to break your heart. It's going to be disappointing. But I feel like your foundation here is crumbling. I feel like as each day goes by, you give less and less reciprocal energy because it feels like you're in a war zone here. The Six of Wands is about coming back from the war, coming back from the fight. It is about getting victory. So I feel like overall you are going to have this feeling of victory, but I don't necessarily know that you're going to be putting up with what you were putting up with before. I feel like your hope, the star, is that things are going to heal themselves and work themselves out. But I feel like when you stand up to say something, that I feel like this Emperor is going to try and conquer you, tell you to shut up and sit down, basically. This could be a family thing. That could be your father. Tell me about the Four of Cups. We've got the King of Swords. Yeah. So I feel like you're very even-tempered. You're somebody who's very even-tempered. I don't really want to go against you. It doesn't feel worth my energy to go against you and what you're saying, what you're feeling. But it feels like with the King of Swords here, that you are about to get very sharp with your words here. I don't think that they're expecting it of you, Pisces. But look, I never met a Pisces who couldn't speak their mind, honestly. Truthfully, people think of Pisces, they think of water, they think of passive energy, and that's not at all what Pisces is about. Pisces is going to tell you what's up. And we have the Nine of Cups. So listen, this Hanged Man came out in the reverse, which means you get some sort of revelation. And I feel like when you do say something, that this Four of Cups is, to me, rejection. You could get laid off. You could be fired. I feel like if this is a job, be careful of your words. Because if you don't soften your words to get your point across, like the Queen of Swords, right? The Queen of Swords is up here, and the Queen of Swords is the one who's not going to say it to ruffle feathers. They're going to be very articulate in the way that they stand up for themselves. They're going to stand up, but they're going to do it in a very leveled, balanced, and metered way, because that's Libra energy. So I am going to speak the truth. But look, when the King of Swords enters the chat, all bets are off. I feel like if you go at it like this, you're going to be moving on here. 4, 5, 6 swords. It feels like you're going to end up, if you do this, I feel like you go in with the intention of, I'm out. And I'm just going to say what I got to say. Because the King of Swords is going to rip you a new one. We've got the Hanged Man in the reverse. Somebody here is waking up, coming to a place where I'm not pausing anymore. I'm not mincing words. I've gotten my perspective and I don't think I like it. And I'm about to tell you that I don't like it. And then we've got the 9 of Cups, because it's the right thing to do and I need to be in alignment. So somebody here I feel like is leaving the relationship, leaving the friendship. I'm going to release the job. Please don't release your job until you have a new job. But I feel like this 9 of Cups here tells me that you require to be happy on the outside and the inside. And this situation no longer is matching what you need. So I feel like it's time for you to move on. The 6 of Swords, and this person's looking over their shoulder, leaving something behind, leaving the chaos behind. Tell me why the 6 of Swords is here for Pisces, please. We have the 8 of Swords. So here's where it's at, Pisces. I feel like you're unsure about what to do at this point because something here is immoral or there's a value you don't believe in. But you know that if you stand up and put the spotlight on yourself, that they're going to see you as a rebel, that you're rebelling against the system. But look, Pisces will rebel against the system. And I feel like somebody here thinks like you're going to rebel against the system. And the Emperor will see it as you being rebellious. Because I feel like the Emperor tries to conquer you, or the Emperor says, hey, shut up and sit down. It feels like it ends up in a verbal fight of some sort here. And I feel like you know that. 7 of Wands is here. And the 5 of Wands is here. So I want to say that you are, with the 6 of Swords, you do want to move on. You want to get out of this chaos and you want to go to the calm, but here's the problem. The problem is right now you're stuck in your head. You're in this prison of the mind here. I'm not really sure if I should say it, when I should say it. Maybe you don't quite have another job yet. I don't want to lose my job. We do have the 7 of Wands. I have to protect myself. I have to protect my morals, my values, the things that I believe in. I have to stand up for myself. And then the 5 of Wands is here. And so I feel like you're having a battle going on within right now, Pisces, about tuning someone in. And look, when the King and the Queen of Swords both show up together, that's a sword fight for me, which means it's a battle of words. It's a battle of intellectuals. It's a battle of who cuts people the worst. You know what I mean? It's like the King of Swords will get all trumped up, and then the Queen of Swords will say, sit your ass down. Now it's my turn. Like, I feel like it's going to be two people who are on the same level, who are really, really arguing and fighting about something. And I don't think that you want to release this or let it go. I don't think you want to, but I think that you've thought about it a lot. I feel like, that you are in this hermit energy, and I feel like you're in a place in your life where you might be going through an awakening. You might be going through this place in your life where you're starting to see your own light, and you're like, wait a second, how did I let that shit go on for so long? Who the hell do you think you are? I don't give a shit if you're my boss. Like, it feels like you can't do that to me. I'm not going to uphold your lies. I'm not going to uphold your immorality or the immorality of this company or this friendship or whatever it is. I feel like somebody here knows that it's going to be disappointing or heartbreaking when the whole foundation falls in, but I feel like you've been hopeful, but I feel like the Knight of Swords being at the center of the reading, which is the heart of the matter, somebody's been just waiting to say something. We've got the 10 of Cups. Look, I feel like it works out for the best. We have the 8 of Cups here because you walk away. Right? The reason that it works out for the best and you end up in the 10 of Cups and this joy energy is because you detach. The 8 of Cups is here. And we've got the 3 of Cups. So it feels like that you will celebrate as you walk away. Justice is here because you have your justice finally. We're going to go into the extended. We're going to talk more about this. And if you want to be in the extended with us, then please look at the top of the comments there. There is one pinned comment under every video that I upload. Please click on the read more, and you'll see that there you can go into the membership if you want to see how this works out in the extended. All the extendeds go there, and you will get 4 extendeds in a month if you're watching for one sign. If you're watching for more signs, you'll get 4 in a month for each of those signs that you watch for. If you're interested in a private read, please know that I am caught up, so we can get you out there in a timely manner. I do have private reads that are pre-recorded. They start at $25 and go up from there. The $25 reading is back out to you in 48 hours. If you're interested in speaking to me live, whether you want to type in chat or you want to speak to me face-to-face or over the phone, then please book yourself an appointment. The only way I'm taking those appointments is if you pre-book them with me. So please pre-book. You'll get between 5 and 75% off of your next call with me, even if you are a returning client. I'm going to go into the extended. If you want to be there, I will see you there. And if you don't, that's okay too, because I'll be back, because I'm always back. Take care, Pisces. Bye-bye.